Alrighty, hey guys, Stan the Man here. Today we're gonna be doing another one of these WWE top 10 lists. You guys have really been wanting them. You've really been enjoying them. Really been viewing them. So I figured, why not? And today's topic is going to be top 10 title reigns that were just way too short. Now I realize some of the guys on this list, they've had multiple title reigns that have lasted like a long time. But I mean, that doesn't matter. I'll still do one if I think it's too short and stuff like that. But yeah, you guys know, as always, this list isn't in any particular order in any type of way. So without any further ado, let's get right into this. Coming in at number 10, we have Christian. Now, in 2011, Edge had planned on defending his World Heavyweight Championship at Extreme Rules against Alberto Del Rio in a ladder match. Unfortunately, due to Edge's neck injury, he ended up needing to retire and relinquish the title. So, Christian took on Alberto Del Rio at Extreme Rules in a ladder match for the World Championship. And Christian ended up winning the match, winning the World Championship for the first time. Die hard moment. Everybody was so happy and excited. And then that next week on SmackDown, Christian has to defend the World Championship against Randy Orton. And shockingly, Christian loses to Randy Orton. So he had only held the World Championship for 5 days. Now this rivalry went on a little longer. Christian beat Randy Orton at Money in the Bank by disqualification, spitting in Randy's face, and he gained the title. But then he ended up losing it at the next pay-per-view, SummerSlam. So overall, I think Christian just should have been able to hold a world title longer than he did. At number 9, we have Jeff Hardy. Now, you see here, he is going against Triple H and Edge for the WWE Championship at Armageddon 2008. If you look back at 2008, Jeff Hardy was probably one of the most over guys in the company. But anyways, Jeff ends up having an amazing match, and he ends up winning the WWE Championship for the first time in his over 10-year career. It took him a while to win it, but he ended up winning it after all those years. But then, unfortunately, the next pay-per-view was the Royal Rumble. Armageddon was at the end of 2008. Royal Rumble was the next pay-per-view beginning of 2009. He defended it against Edge. Unfortunately, Matt Hardy came down, looked like he was going to help his brother Jeff. He turned on him and hit him in the head with a steel chair and cost Jeff the WWE Championship. And then also later on in the year, Jeff Hardy was taking on Edge again for the World Championship in a ladder match. Jeff and him, they had a really physical, insane match. In the end, Jeff Hardy won the title, got down from the ladder, did a little bit of celebration, and then CM Punk comes down with the Money in the Bank briefcase, takes an awesome opportunity. He was just in a physical ladder match, and Jeff Hardy lost. I mean, you could definitely tell the company didn't really have much faith in Jeff. I mean, and also with his drug and alcohol addiction, I mean, it's kind of understandable, but it still would have been nice for him to hold on to the main title for a little longer. At number 8, we have HBK Shawn Michaels. Now, from like 97 to 2002 or whatever years, there was a 5-year period until 2002 that Shawn Michaels was retired from in-ring competition due to his back. But lo and behold, Shawn Michaels was able to return in 2002. He's one of the biggest stars in the company, and he was back then. So everyone was just very excited to see Shawn back. He was kind of in and out of a big rivalry with Triple H in 2002, which ended up leading up to Survivor Series in 2002 in the first ever Elimination Chamber match. And a bunch of great stars were in there, like Kane, Rob Van Dam, Booker T, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels. It was a really good match, back and forth, very bloody, first time Elimination Chamber, and Shawn Michaels came out of the match victorious. It was a very good, feel-good moment for the crowd, but Shawn Michaels did not want to hold the World Championship. And you think about it, I kind of understand, you've been out of the business for over 5 years, and they get back and plan on putting you on top already. Like, that's really hard to live up to. So, since he wasn't very fond of being the World Championship, he ended up going against Triple H in the next pay-per-view, Armageddon 2002, where he went against Triple H in a 3 Stages of Hell match. There was a ladder match, steel cage match, and one-on-one match, I believe. And Triple H ended up being victorious at the end of that, which meant Shawn Michaels held his only World Heavyweight Championship for 28 days. At number 7, we have Daniel Bryan. Now, this all started back at SummerSlam 2013, where Daniel Bryan defeated John Cena for the WWE World Championship. Triple H was the special referee. Ended up pedigreeing Daniel after the match, and Randy Orton cashed in the Money in the Bank. This rivalry pretty much continued the whole rest of the year until 2014. From Royal Rumble to the WrestleMania, Triple H and Daniel Bryan were really feuding. Triple H basically saying Daniel Bryan's a B-plus player. He's not meant to be the World Championship. Well, anyways, you fast forward to WrestleMania. He needs to defeat Triple H to qualify for the main event WWE Championship match, which he does. And he ends up going against Randy Orton and Batista, taking it on for Randy Orton's championships. And Daniel Bryan wins, which was one of the happiest moments, pretty much heist of the century. Now, WrestleMania 30 was on April 6th, 2014. And unfortunately, Daniel Bryan had a neck injury, which made him surrender the titles. And ultimately, a year after, he had to retire from in-ring performing. So this title reign only went from April 6th to surrendering it on May 26th. So a little bit over a month. Nothing that great. And he was really getting big at that time, too. So it was just a very unfortunate situation. At number 6, we have Yokozuna. Main event of WrestleMania 9 was Bret Hart against Yokozuna. Yokozuna ended up beating Bret Hart for the WWF Championship at the time, which was crazy. No one thought Bret was going to lose, and unfortunately he did. But then Hulk Hogan comes out after the match, challenges Yokozuna to a match, does the freaking high boot and does the leg drop and beats him. It was kind of shitty for everybody because, one, it took Yokozuna's WWE Championship away, and it kind of really made Bret Hart look like a loser, which was stupid. So basically, Yokozuna held the WWE Championship for maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and then he lost, which, it's Yokozuna, he's huge. There's no way he would have lost. They just had a killer match, and then Hulk Hogan comes out and buries the shit out of them both. But luckily, Yokozuna won the WWE Championship back in 2 months from Hulk Hogan at King of the Ring, and he held it for over 200 days, I believe, which he ended up losing to Bret Hart at the next year's WrestleMania. So at least he got the second reign, but still, that almost just makes the first reign pointless, ridiculous. At number 5, we have the Ultimate Opportunist, Edge. Now, this is crazy because Edge has held the most championships in all of WWE, but he won the Money in the Bank ladder match at WrestleMania 21, which was the first one ever. and he ended up cashing it in at New Year's Revolution after John Cena had just fought an over-hour Elimination Chamber. The problem is, only Vince McMahon and Edge thought it would be a good idea to cash in there. None of the other bookers and writers had very much faith in him. So he beat John Cena that night, and then 20 some odd days later, he ended up losing to John Cena in Canada in a tables, ladders, and chairs match, which is Edge's match. So that really stunk. And doing research in this video, I didn't realize Edge has won a lot of world championships, but he really hasn't held many of them that long. At number 4, we have Kane. Now, Kane went against Stone Cold Steve Austin in a first blood match at 1998 King of the Ring. So, Kane wears a mask, so obviously how is he going to bleed? So it was obvious he ended up beating Stone Cold Steve Austin. But then the next night, they're having Kane's WWE Championship celebration. And Steve Austin comes out and challenges Kane and ends up winning the WWE Championship back at the end of the night, which really stunk because Kane was one of the most dominant forces, especially back then. And he didn't get a real title reign until almost 12 years later in 2011, where he cashed in his Money in the Bank contract on Rey Mysterio and won the World Championship. I mean, thankfully, he defended it against Rey, and he got to defend it against guys like The Undertaker. But, I mean, just one day, I mean, Kane was amazing back then, so it just kind of really was a heart killer. At number 3, we have Randy Orton. Randy Orton had defeated Chris Benoit at 2004 SummerSlam to win his first World Heavyweight Championship, the youngest world champion at the time. The next night on Raw, Triple H and Evolution turn on Randy Orton, and Orton ends up defending his world title against Triple H at Unforgiven 2004, which was a good match, but he ultimately ended up losing the world championship to Triple H, which meant he had only held the title for 27 days. Now, a lot of the reasoning behind this is because he was too young, arrogant, didn't really know what he was doing, and it was too much pressure for him. But, I mean, it's still sad to see a guy's first world title reign less than a month. At number 2, we have Sheamus. Now, the thing that's really wrong with this WWE Championship reign is he won it at the wrong time. He won it at the end of the year. He won it at December 2009 TLC. And from my understanding, John Cena accidentally fell through the table and Sheamus accidentally became the WWE Champion. But besides that, the next pay-per-view was the Royal Rumble 2010, which he, of course, retained. But then he had to defend it in a 6-man Elimination Chamber match where he ended up dropping the title to John Cena. I mean, it sucks that they didn't let him go into WrestleMania. But, I mean, in their defense, with Sheamus being such a new guy, I guess I could understand being nervous. What if he doesn't bring in ratings to WrestleMania? But it just stunk that the timing was off. They could have made it into something way more special. And at number 1, we have Bray Wyatt. 2017 was a really weird year for WWE. He won the WWE Championship in the Elimination Chamber. I mean, it was impressive that John Cena was the WWE Champion, but still, I mean, it's an Elimination Chamber, so he didn't really beat him one-on-one. And the next pay-per-view was WrestleMania, and he ended up being defeated by Randy Orton. Randy was in the Wyatt family. It was a weird time, but he lost it a month later, which was really sad. And then, also as The Fiend, he's just been booked horribly. Like, he lost the Universal Championship to guys like Goldberg, and he lost against Seth Rollins and got disqualified in Hell in a Cell. It was just a big mess, but, Bray Wyatt's here now, and Triple H is running things, so hopefully we'll see a much better title reign from him. Alrighty, guys, so this is going to be the end of the video here. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, of course, hit that thumbs up button down below. Like I said, just thank you for the support. I've been really getting a lot more views and subs, and I'd really just like to thank you guys. So, yeah, that's going to be it. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.